at the TPC Racing in-house dyno. Here's Mike Levitas, fresh off our dyno here on this GT2 RS. And Mike is gonna walk us through the different stages of performance tune we have developed.
Tom, we're just wrapping up right now this beautiful blue GT2 RS. This happens to be a 2019. 2018 and 19s all have the same code. This car came in tuned. We flashed it back to stock, and then we've been working on our stage 1 and stage 2 tune, which is every bit of more than a year in development. We've had at least a dozen cars on the dyno. My car in particular, I've got almost a year's worth of time moving tables around. COBB has done an amazing job of adding more and more torque tables and XML files to their current tuning software, and it's just a matter of identifying it. What I'll show you here before I actually show you the dyno file, Tom, look, zoom in on this. This gives you an idea between stage 1 and stage 2. Here's some of the maps that we're tuning right now, but if you view some of the differences just in stage 1 to stage 2, it's not like stage 2 is just a couple of requested manifold pressure increases or torque demand increases. It's everywhere from torque boost targets to torque requests. There's ignition timing, there's fuel pump delivery, primary pump, secondary pump, turbine speed. There's just so many differences, and I've had a year's worth of time just tuning the stage 2, and I'll show you the proof in this. This is a car that's I'm not going to say it's cookie cutter, but it is a little cookie cutter. This shows you right here. Come on over to the dyno. This is our basic stage. This is insane. This is that's stage 2.
What's the stock baseline?
Stock baseline is right here. The cars make a tick over 600 to the tire. This car made 611 to the tire, and that's pretty standard. Every car that I've dynoed is made exactly the same. Everyone has the same, you know, if it's a US car, it's got the same, you know, programming in it. And that's very typical. This is our, right here, the blue line that you're seeing is the stage 1. And you'll notice that it really follows the factory curve very closely. Even the dips and the rises in it are the same. So the beauty of really the stage 1 is the actual torque increase, and you can see when you're at 6,500 RPM, you know, the green line is following at 576, you know, foot-pounds of torque, and or rather, I'm sorry, 521, and the stock is 466. So that's like a 60 foot-pound, you know, torque difference at 6,500. Even when you're near the rev limiter, I mean, look at that. My gosh, that's almost 60 foot-pounds of torque difference when it's shifting. And we've also turned we've also turned it up. You can see by the red line, anytime you you turn up the engine RPM, the thing just goes, it just doesn't. If I turned it up to 8,000 RPM, you can see it would come up almost to 800 horsepower. It just keeps moving air through the engine. The volumetric efficiency of this engine's insane. And I can open the shutter doors up of the VGT turbo and just move more and more turbine gas through it. And that's the magic of a turbocharged car. It's not the compressor section, it's the turbine section. And right now this car has our stage 2, so it's got a different catalyst on it, or lack thereof, but this one's a you know, and it's got a Y pipe, and those are the only 2 restrictions that the factory had. So this is stage 1, again, the blue line. You can see, so, you know, how it follows. Look at the difference between that and stock. And this is incredible because that's almost 700 to the tire just on stage 1. That's just a bone stock car. And this is all 93 pump fuel. There's no smoke and mirrors here. And then, my gosh, this is nothing but a stage 2 package. And this is the first, every pool is the same thing. And that's incredible. That's 850 horsepower.
That's very impressive. So just to recap, green is stock.
Green is stock.
Blue is stage 1, which is our proprietary TPC tune using the COBB Accessport as the interface device.
Correct.
And red is stage 2, which has a different tune than stage 1 because of the increased flow. It requires a completely different tune.
It does. It requires a different tune, and it's amazing to drive, Tom. It's un-effing believable. Every pull is like this. Look at this. This is like 611 to the tires. This is 735. It's like 120 horsepower gain out of a tune and a stage 2 package. That's unheard of.
Yeah.
This isn't even, look even down below. Look even at 4,500 RPM. Look at the difference in the stage 1 and stage, stage 2. I mean, the gains are phenomenal. And you can see by the torque and the horsepower here, you can see how beautiful we've tuned the torque table. Most tunes you'll see they make huge torque and then the cars fall off. I hate that. I love all cars, whether you're drag racing, road racing, I love them to look like a big Atmo car. Peak horsepower, peak torque, right at the rev limiter. And that's how it should be. I mean, that's incredible. Tabletop torque, doesn't matter which one you're in, or stage 1 or stage 2. Okay, that's stock. I mean, look at that stock torque table, TPC torque table.
Yeah, that's right. We don't just tune for the peak number. We tune for the overall performance across the entire power band, which is important because on the track, on the street, drag racing or road racing, you do go through the gears and use the entire power band. So one particular horsepower spike, it's useless in actual application.
Yeah, that's really true. And you got to remember, when it shifts a gear, it falls back down in RPM, and you can see it never, ever falls below the stock tune. That is just simply mind-boggling.
Man, that's really impressive. So before we check out here, just want to give props to COBB. Without the COBB Accessport providing us with the platform to tune, so we as COBB Pro tuners take advantage of all these torque tables that they identify. It gives us the tool to tune these cars to a level that's never been done before, all on 93 octane.
Yeah, that's really true, Tom. You really do have to give a shout out to COBB, all the engineers for all the work they've done, the tireless work. We're not in it alone. I've had a lot of help from Mitch McKee, from M Engineering. Mitch has been very solid in helping over the years, but this is a year's worth of work. This didn't happen overnight, and this isn't like one car on the dyno for one day. This is a year's work.
Right, and you actually have to own the car to do it tirelessly to get these great results.
It's really true. At TPC, we own all of the cars that we tune. We own all of the cars that we tune the chassis for DSC Sport. So yes, I mean, it is true. You have to live with these cars long term. That's proof of that.
Yep, that's commitment and passion.
That is.
All right, thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Tom.